Geoff Keighley put out a new Final Hours for Half-Life Alyx. Remember those?
Yeah.
I'd edited a number of his Final Hours features many years ago.
Well, now there's so much more. That was just text, right?
Yes, those were just text features back in the day. He was always very easy to work with. He was a good guy. But I guess I haven't seen. Does anybody watch it? Final Hours of Half-Life Alyx. I guess it's on Steam.
Yeah, I saw it on Steam.
That's where it's being served.
Oh, wow.
I should try to make some time to watch that. But a bunch of info came out of that about canceled Valve projects, which is like something you feel like you never get.
Yeah.
Ever.
It's good that they're finally like able to just like tell these stories and get them off the books. Cause I feel like the mythical different versions of Half-Life 3 over the years. So now I'm reading this and trying to line it up with like stuff we heard over the year.
Yes. I'm trying to
that the time we heard about the Half-Life 3 game that was VR only, would that have been Borealis?
Maybe. I'm trying to remember when that was.
What about Hot Dog?
I don't think we ever heard about Hot Dog.
No, damn it. Half-Life Hot Dog.
Yes, there was definitely a period where a handful of people we knew were coming out of visits to Valve saying they had played Half-Life 3.
Yeah.
I was just going like, man.
What the fuck's going on?
Yeah. Gosh, I guess I should just rattle a few of these off. At one point, they had a project that internally they were calling Half-Life 3, which was going to use procedural generation.
That seems like such an odd choice.
Like on the one hand, yeah, but also like if you think back on the history of Half-Life as having like come up with kind of wildly new concepts in the shooter space and like pushing tech forward and et cetera, et cetera. If they had pulled that off, like that feels like that fits right into that Half-Life mold.
Do you think that was the game that we had heard and never fully corroborated? Though I guess we did get. I think we did run this by one person who seemed alarmed that we knew it. Do you think this was the one that they were outsourcing storyboards?
I don't know. Yeah.
Black Mesa team.
Yeah.
Who were then generating the content and sending it back to them without actually knowing what they were working on.
Yes, that was a thing we heard at one point.
That was a thing we heard at one point.
Maybe. The idea here is that this would have like kind of authored like preset story beats, but then in between that, it would auto-generate levels and enemy placements and stuff like that. Okay. I mean, like, it's not that different from the Left 4 Dead like AI director type stuff, right? Like, we're kind of already moving into that territory.
Sure.
But this would have been a way to kind of make the single-player playthrough of a Half-Life 3 kind of change from run to run. Sounds like they straight up scanned the actor for the G-Man for this. They got that far.
No.
It's kind of interesting to see that both this Half-Life 3 project and also Left 4 Dead 3 are both listed as having been derailed because they never finished the Source 2 engine. Or like the tech, the underlying tech was like the stumbling block there.
Wow.
Left 4 Dead 3 would have been set in Morocco.
Okay.
They had a project they were just calling RPG.
Solid.
Which I think is pretty good.
They talk about taking inspiration from Monster Hunter.
Yeah,
and that sounds...
This list, Monster Hunter, Dark Souls, and Elder Scrolls were all inspirations for this. It sounds like this would have been maybe an episodic or a thing they would have put out in pieces.
This last bit here in this idea recap of this that says, after RPG was abandoned, experiments went into turning it into a single-player RPG based on Dota character Axe.
Sure. Axe is a real card. If you're going to make a game about a Dota character, I guess give John St. John some more work. Why not?
Yeah. People love Axe.
Yes.
I like Smash more than Axe personally, but
there's a bunch of we got a write up on IGN that's got a good breakdown of all these projects that are mentioned in the video. There's a bunch of VR projects that they dabbled with here and there. Hot Dog was a Left 4 Dead VR game.
Man,
they had a VR project called Sim Trek that had members of the Kerbal Space Program team.
Awesome.
Working on it.
Damn.
That could have been cool. Yeah. Like, God, dude, like some kind of Kerbal or like FTL type game in VR could
Right.
be pretty damn cool.
Oh, that'd be so stressful.
Yes,
Yep.
totally.
God.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess that Ubisoft Star Trek VR game was like kind of that sort
Sort
of,
yeah.
but not quite all the way there.
With less fire.
Yeah. Anyway, Keighley's video features up on Steam, and then, like I said, you can go to places.
It's like interactive. There's a bunch of, I think it's kind of a multimedia app thing. Is my
Okay,
understanding.
that's cool. I should.
So
I should
there's
check that
more
out.
Do you get a T-shirt gun?
I don't know if you get a T-shirt gun. But,
Oh, okay.
So just hack Devolver Land to replace the video with
There you
videos
go.
Half-Life 3.
Now you're talking.